everybody. Welcome to another episode of PodCats. This PodCats episode is going to be kind of a different one, per se. I will be your host. With me, Connor Gillock, and with me is...
Wyatt, right?
And our special guest today is not a coach. It's actually our athletic director here, Pat Atwell, in the flesh. Pat, welcome, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, thrilled to be here. Sorry I wasn't as on time as I like to be. I had a guy just desperately wants to be our men's soccer coach on the phone with me, and I couldn't get away too quick. So appreciate you guys being patient.
Yeah, no, all good. And I bet we both understand how busy your life can be and whatnot. And to kind of kick things off here, how would you currently describe the state of athletics here at Culverstock College?
I mean, we're solid. We're solid with our people. We have great people. I wouldn't mind winning a few more games. I always want to win a few more games. But as far as the quality of our people, the quality of our coaches that are leading our student athletes, I'm very, very happy with the people representing Culverstock and on our staff and the experience we're providing for the student athletes. And so, yeah, I think there's a lot of boxes we try to check, but that's a big one when we're setting goals is to provide the best experience you can for the student athletes. That's a goal for the coaches. And then recruiting's a huge thing. And so we're doing a great job with our enrollment numbers and things. And, we want to win some games. So we can keep working towards that. And that's where, I'm here to help them in any way I can. But I feel pretty good about where we're at as a department and the kind of people we have representing us as students and the kind of people we have leading our programs.
Awesome. When hiring a new coach, what are some of the qualities that you are looking for in a coach?
Yeah, that's a good one. We do, and we've been doing that a little bit. New volleyball coach, new men's basketball coach. Now we're doing men's soccer. I want to hire a coach that you're proud to walk up to your mom and dad and say, "Hey, this is my coach." So I want a good person. It's a good person to start with. All right. I want somebody that I would want coaching my kids. So then I want somebody who wants to be Culver's coach. I don't want somebody that just wants a coaching job, that they've applied for every coaching job in the country that opens up. That can be okay, but I want a reason why they want to be Culver's coach. Why here? Why here? Why now? Why does this work for you? So, and we can go, some of our last couple of hires, there's good reasons for that. So that's important to me. Why do you want to work at Culverstock? Why the NAI? Do you have any private school experience? If you've only worked at Mizzou and Georgia, what's it going to look like if you come to Culver? It's going to be a little different experience for you. So, so those are things I look for. And I try to put like a checklist together when I'm looking for a coach. Is like, what do I want this time? And it might depend on what we had before. So can I get somebody with head coaching experience? But a lot of times we hire a lot of first-time coaches. And sometimes, it's salary driven. Our coaches aren't going to get rich. So sometimes it's, we have we'll hire somebody, it'll be their first head coaching job, but they build up to it. They've been an assistant the right amount of time under the right people, and this is a place for them to get their first head coaching job. Sometimes those go well, sometimes they don't go as well. So those are some of the things I look for when I'm looking to bring somebody onto our, and just like, your coaches or Coach Corcus is bringing somebody onto his team. When he's looking at you guys, this is my team. So somebody that I'm representing Culver. So Culver's team, I lead that team, and I want a good teammate on our team.
Yeah, I kind of like that. How you talk about how you want to build your own team, like how our coaches build their team, and you're building your own team. I like that though, and especially you talk about how you want coaches to love coaching at Culver, not just obviously like you said another job. But that's very important, I think, for the student athletes too. I think really important, so that the coaches kind of get that, not coaches, the students kind of get more out of the coaching than what you really think. I've seen a lot of coaches nowadays, and they're, instead of just being the coach that works you to death and all, but coaches are now starting to be more personable with their student athletes and wanting to be a part of their lives outside of athletics, college and everything else. And I think it's kind of important to a college standpoint too. Obviously, you want to retain students, you want to retain student athletes, and obviously coaching is one of the biggest things that can help drive away.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell them all the time, it's the greatest job in the world. It keeps you young. You might not get paid like you do at other jobs, but you get paid in a lot of ways. And given my age and experience, and as long as I coached, now I'm seeing how my kids, and I call my kids, they're in their 50s, some of them. Heck, some of them are retired. I mean, I got texts them, they're retired. Hey, coach, I'm retired. I'm like, well, that's just wrong, man. What do you mean you're retiring? But they're like troopers. So they've been out, you're a trooper. You do it for 20 years, whatever, you can retire. So, yeah, I got guys retiring. But it's, when we get back together, it's really fun. And to see their kids, and now their kids, I got kids starting on really good programs at Lindenwood and different places. And, obviously I was at Quincy a long time, so some were over there at Quincy. But I've talked to my players about their sons and daughters coming here to Culver Stockton and get a lot of, questions about those things. So that's the great part of it when you're coaching. And as coaches, we're teachers. I talked to the coaches a lot about that yesterday. Ultimately, we have to have the skill and knowledge to teach the sport at a high level, so we are teachers. That's what we are. And I said, just like if you read something and you have no clue what you read, like, what did I read today? But you went to lit class and you come out of lit class like, so that guy really explained that well, because that's he or she's expertise. And you know you've come out of class before like, wow, that was interesting. But that's coaching too, when you can help somebody get better at what they love, it's a pretty good feeling.
Next question we got here is in the next few years, what is your vision for the future of athletics here at Culver Stockton?
Yeah, I want to keep getting better. I think there's two things. We have to stay up to speed with what the landscape is. So that means is there anything coming down the road? An example would be women's flag football. It's starting to get a lot of attention. The NFL is putting money into it. The league is going to have enough schools that have it as a sport. So that's probably something that's coming, that we'll analyze women's flag footballs. That'd be a good addition to us. At the same time, we have to look at our facilities. So we're pretty strained from a facility standpoint. I mean, you guys don't have locker room, right? So there's things we want locker rooms. We want as we run into a campaign, where we're a fundraising campaign, can we find somebody that has a passion for our athletic department, our sports, where they can donate so we could build facilities, so we could we turf some fields, like the football field, the football, soccer, lacrosse field. Can we turf baseball or softball? Can we get buildings so we have more locker rooms for our teams? Can we get the football team out of Charles Fieldhouse into their own facility that maybe they're sharing with, maybe it's also could be some lacrosse or some things, or another weight room. We could use more weight room space. That would open up Charles Fieldhouse, so then, volleyball and basketball and other sports could spread out, and those current dressing rooms down below by the weight room could maybe soccer could use those. And, there's just so many things we'd like to do. So I think those are part of the future, keeping up to date with what's coming, and then just doing everything we can for our coaches and student athletes to have the best experience they can. So, and again, we'd like to get some more stability in the coaches brings more winning a lot of times, because they learn how it is. And I'm always looking for what I can provide them. How can I make their lives easier? Can I that's my job as the AD. Can we get a little more scholarship money here? Can we become a little more competitive there? Can we help our facilities? Can we help the budgets? Those are all things I'm looking at. But globally, I think we're such a large part of the campus. I mean, we're 77% of the student body are playing athletics. That doesn't count the kids that have left their teams but stayed at Culver. So, probably really over 80 when you because there's a lot of kids around that have done that. And so we're important to the fraternity and sorority life. We need to get involved in that. We're important to the student government. We play an important role in this campus, a really important role. So it's important. It's really crucial that we understand that, and the coaches understand that, and we get our kids out in all these leadership positions. But athletically, some of the things I covered is really what I see.
Yeah, I think it's super important. Like you said, always updating facilities, finding different solutions to possibly create better things obviously to come, and with obviously more weight room space, definitely one thing for sure. Locker rooms, all that stuff. It's very important stuff that kind of goes behind the scenes, and I kind of like to see where this goes. Obviously, I'm graduating here in May, so I'll be back around here this campus every now and then. But I like to see the future and what it holds for us. But kind of
the Gilly Performance Center. It's it has a ring to it. But yeah, and I think I think when you look at it, though, I think we're such a crucial part of enrollment. So as I'm talking to people, maybe somebody's not well, yeah, Pat, my passion's not like a big donor potentially for athletics. I'm like, well, but this is really a Culver Stockton thing. You know, we're 77% of the student body, so you need to have a certain level of facilities for these people to come to Culver Stockton College, and a lot of the people coming to Culver Stockton College at this point are playing athletics, you know, and you know, the fine arts are great, all our other areas are great, and you're student athletes, you're coming for the degree, but the carrot that gets the person to come and experience Culver is often the sport, and so you need to have. You don't have to have the best facilities in the world, but competitive facilities, right? And we have some really good ones. We can always get better.
Yeah, it's all about just providing. It's giving, say, opportunities. Like use
Correct.
Opportunities, because you know people will make the best of what opportunities they can do. You know, we're all college, we're all adults, I should say. You know, we know how to make our own decisions. So giving ourselves opportunities to do it the best we can. But to kind of close things out here, with obviously competing at the NAIA level with student athletes. How does competing at the NAIA level go beyond just wins and losses?
I mean, to me, it's the whole Culver experience. It's the fact that you can get involved in anything you want to. Compete at the NAIA level. I mean, the NAIA has their core values, you know, the place to play, the right way to play. That's a big deal. I mean, and I really, if the world has, and I'm an NAIA athlete, so that's my core. Right, so I went to a small school, Salem College, West Virginia, played baseball. I was an RA. You know, that was my college. So it's so comfortable for me here because this is what I lived. But I think you can do so much, and I'm so thankful I'm not right now at the NCAA Division I level working with, you know, all the NIL stuff and how much are we paying our guys, and like this is truly college athletics. Here, I mean, you're talking about. I mean, I don't even hear them talk about going to class anymore. I mean, you ever hear them talking about? I mean, they don't even talk about it at D1. That these guys, I'm sure they are in some way, shape, or form. But here, you know, when we started talking about a rainout, I mean, we're staring like, oh, go, you know, finals are coming. Can we play this day? We got finals coming. Well, that's how it's supposed to be. Like we're supposed to be turning out people into the world with this great degree from Culver Stockton and the experience you had, the failures, the wins, the successes, the losses, all the things that you deal with as an athlete. And that's why people like to hire athletes because especially, I mean, some sports, but baseball, I mean, we're working on our field. Like if you're a baseball player and successful, you've got a work ethic. You're used to doing stuff yourself, right? So I'll get calls all the time. Hey, you got anybody Pat, that would be good for me? I'm hiring somebody in this area, and you know, I'll just kind of go through my mental Rolodex and looking like, oh yeah, I got a couple of people that'd be really good for you to talk to. So I think being an athlete at the NAIA level, you have so many opportunities to have other leadership opportunities, and you just learn so much. That's why it's so important for the coaches to be good role models and good leaders. And I'm hoping we're turning out a lot of future coaches. You know, I'm hoping we're turning out a lot of future, you know, everything, you know, that we provide here. And it's so easy for me to recruit. I mean, I was just recruiting volleyball. Tori knows. You know, I mean, we're between volleyball coaches, and so I was the volleyball recruiter, you know, for several months, and I kind of loved it, you know, getting back into it. And it was so easy to sell Culver, especially young ladies who really care about the academic end of their experience. Not that guys don't. Sometimes we're a little slower to understand how that all works. That's just a fact. You know, I've lived it, you know, and but a lot of times the young ladies, you know, a little more global on their college decision. And so it was so fun for me to recruit and sell our academic programs and the Culver experience and how I pictured it working for them. And it was a lot of fun. It kind of brought me back to my roots. So that was a long-winded question or answer to what you asked. But it's the global experience you have. I mean, like for you guys, I mean, look at you guys. So how many places are you going to be able to sit down at other places and give the list of people you know? Like if you need me to be a reference, I'm your reference, right? I mean, Wyatt worked for me. We all know you, Gilly. You're famous, right? You're on campus. Everybody knows you. And Tori, now she's up doing broadcast. She's playing 2 sports. She does great in her class. I mean, that's just 3 people in the room. But that's the beauty of coming to a small school. That's what you can take advantage of, and how, you know, we can help you as you look to head into your lives, and your world. So yeah, that's the beauty of the place is Culver Stockton College is the experience you have can lead to great things for you all in the future. And some of it you don't even realize while you're doing it. Like, oh yeah, that was pretty cool, And I mean, I've been able to go back and thank the AD at Salem, because he didn't know that, but when I was in his class, like I'm going to do that. Like that's for sure what I'm going to do. Like, I knew I wanted to play, and then of course I'm going to coach. But I always thought, one day whatever he's doing, it looks like a pretty good gig being an AD at a small college. And so he didn't know. He knows now because I've told him. But it wasn't like when I told him when I was 19. And I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, that's kind of cool. And how you get to be that, and then I watched and I got to know that I volunteered to work and I'm doing stuff at the games and I'm building relationships. So yeah, that's the beauty of Culver.
Pat, I mean, I want to thank you for your time. I mean, we really do. I mean, me and Wyatt, to our producer, really appreciate it. You really hit the head on the nail with every question we asked. I mean, there were so many other questions we could have asked you. Obviously, you kind of went into NIL. You went into a bunch of other different things with the classrooms and the whole global, specs of, how college and how your job is what it is. And I just want to give a huge thank you. I mean, it's kind of a random podcast. It's been different. Usually we interview coaches, not the AD, but, we thought about interviewing you and seeing, kind of getting your perspective a little bit on. Obviously, this year athletics has been pretty successful. We're going to have another NFL possible player.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, the fact he had a 30 visit, like, when they're pretty serious when they bring him for a 30 visit. Yeah, I appreciate you guys asking me, and I will. It was unprofessional of me to be late. I apologize for being late. That's not my style. But we were on the phone with a candidate. I could have cut him off, and I didn't. So, but thanks for hanging in there with me. So that's not setting a good example for you guys to walk in late for my interview. So I apologize for that. But no, I appreciate you guys. It's the most fun I get is the fact that I know you three. That's why I like what I do. Right, I'm not someplace where I don't know anybody. All I'm out is fundraising, and that's all important. But I like to know the students. I think that's the great part of being at a small school. I like the fact that you guys get to know the leadership on campus. So it's great. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, I think it's really important to us to know like the higher ups. We actually get to talk to you guys as adults, not just as like you're the higher up. We're a student or athlete. Superiority to.
Yeah, we're just people.
Now we're equal. Yeah,
yep.
We're talking. Like you and I, every time we see each other, we talk shop a little bit, talk a little baseball. I mean, it's been great. I mean, but yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up here, Pat. Thank you once again. Wyatt, any statements at all? Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna say you're fun to work with. I mean, you're helping me from 2 weekends ago from home with hitting tips. So
yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I look up to you. Yeah. Now I want to be an athletic director.
That's a good gig. I appreciate that.
Like how you were talking about your athletic director, I'm the same way as you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's I always say, if you can just pass it on. I think, when you're thanking me in my mind every day, like if you're saying prayers, thanks for everybody that's helped me on my journey. Please help me to keep continuing to try to help people on their journey. And that's kind of one of my enders, when I'm thanking the good Lord for everything He's provided to me. So yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
And as we're going to wrap things up here, Wildcats fans, thank you for tuning in. This is another great episode of PodCats, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yep.